We have arrived on map number 1, Last Refuge. Big battles have been fought here on this map between not only these two players, but also these races. Happy on the way to his 5th DreamHack championship in a row. HawK on the way to the final. That would be quite an upset, but on Super Saturday, everything can happen.
Yeah, I think this is the map where HawK's gonna have the best chance of winning, basically, by far. It's his pick immediately. It's gonna have to be through finding some decent items. If HawK starts dropping a ring of protection, a gauntlet of strength, all that stuff, it's just gonna be super bad for him. But it's a map where in the past he's managed to defeat Happy at times. And the question is for Happy, what do we see him do? It seems like he's really back full force now with Pitlord thirds, which he had stopped doing for some time. He was going for a lot of just dual hero into Banshee, sometimes even expanding quite a bit. So he's capable of mixing it up. HawK, it's all gonna be the same on every single map. He's just gonna creep a little bit, expand, try to set up that expand, losing as few footmen as possible, then tech, and usually double barracks, double workshop, sometimes maybe with a sanctum in there.
Yeah, especially the double workshop. We saw this earlier by Fortitude, and that's something we didn't see at Bladeside. That might be the big difference between the Moldovan Mauler and HawK. But yeah, I agree with you that HawK has to do something great on this map, not only because it's a good map for him, but also because he's oftentimes a moody player, I would think. If he has a great start into a series, he can accelerate from that. But if he's getting beaten after a long battle on map 1, oftentimes map 2 and map 3 don't look too hot anymore. So HawK, if he wants to win this series, he needs to jumpstart.
Yeah, I completely agree, actually. And it's something that's not only specific to HawK. I think it also happened to Blade, you know?
Yeah.
He was somewhat competitive in game 1 and 2, and then after being down 0-2, it's like the third game. Almost feels like he left early, but he was just in a really bad spot, and he was just like, okay, I'm just not beating this guy. So he kind of gave up. And that's happened to HawK as well in the past. I really feel like here, if he loses map number 1, we might see a 3-0 from Happy. So very important for HawK to stay solid. His Archmage was a little late to move back in position to defend here. That's going to be a bunch of peasants dying. Happy always getting max damage here from the Road of Necromancy and his units. And not quite the start that HawK had hoped for. And he dropped the ring, of course.
Of course. Oh my god. Almost saving that one peasant there. But the last fiend shot kills this one. Happy again, taking quite some damage on his DK. Doesn't make things too easy. Next, he has one charge of a lot of necromancy, but oh my, he's waiting for that footman. Can he deny this HawK? Yes, he can. That's even more damage. Can he chase him?
Course.
That's not enough, I think.
Yeah, it's nice to do a little more damage, but yeah, now HawK needs level 3. The fact that he was out of position when the units got to his expo, that's a big problem here that really should not have happened. So far, I kind of like the SimCity around the expansion, but a Pit Lord could rain of fire on those peasants mining at the expo without the Arcane Tower shooting. So it might seem early to mention that, but you know, just quote me back in a few minutes when it's actually happening.
I quote what you said a couple of minutes ago already. The Pit Lord. Feels like DreamHack Summer is the tournament of the Pit Lord. We saw this from Fortitude. We saw this from Happy. We see this quite a bit. From Fortitude, from Mikael, I mean, sorry, against Fortitude. And also with like Soen mixing it in.
Yeah.
And Johnny Cage in the Human Mirror. So everybody seems to love the Pit Lord here.
Well, that was not the best game to showcase the picture of Johnny Cage. But I think Soen was, whenever he had Shadow level 3. But yeah, it seems like, I don't know exactly what happened with this. Maybe Happy saw that people started adjusting to the new style that he was doing. And he was like, all right, it's time to go back to that old Pit Lord push that people don't seem to have much of an answer against. And this is Happy's new variation of this build here, where he stays tier 2 a little longer, but actually here, despite making the third Ziggurat, takes it to tier 3 pretty quickly.
Huh. Curious. Gets the slaughterhouse up. HawK's items, double ring and slippers. Yikes. At least he gets one circle and the replenishment, which can be nice. But again, for the human, until the very late game stages, this is all about survival. Happy wants to kill HawK right off the bat. Footmen are in position. Archmage once again far out. And the footmen all clumped up, catching the first Nova.
Yeah, Archmage needs to try and send back that DK It's really nice that he has the replenishment potion, actually, because now he's going to take a bunch of damage for sure. Every time you move too close like this, Happy will just click on you. But the first statue, it's going to get there soon. And HawK, he hasn't really started making any guard towers because he's been losing so many peasants the whole time. Just like you need like 1 to 2 guard towers at least at the expo in addition to your arcane tower to make sure that you can hold replenishment potion. You don't want that to get cancelled. Needs to pull back. That shop will be clicked on and sniped unless he fights now against the fiends. So what does he choose to do?
Replenishment still running, but not anymore. Wasn't too much mana, was mostly HP. Both heroes for Happy now kinda low, waiting for the statue, and I think it's coming. Oh, it already arrives. DK super low, but that is the moving health and mana fountain for the undead up now.
Is HawK not getting guard towers on the expo, or is he just like so busy fighting that he's having trouble maybe macroing that correctly?
He's getting
Defend
one now.
finally completed now.
That makes things a lot easier, of course, even though Nova is a good solution against that. There's one more, but HawK is not losing too much, I think. But the question is until when? Sustain for Happy is crazy good right now. HawK needs a little bit more time to heal the footman up again.
It's really hard to kill any unit of Happy. That's the thing. Earlier today, we saw Mikael against Fortitudes. That game on Conceal Hill, Mikael was doing really well. Then suddenly you lose 2 fiends, and suddenly you're really far behind because you're missing so much of that firepower. Happy, that almost never happens to him. He's just pushing consistently, doing the max damage that he can, always choosing to target the best possible thing that he can target, and he doesn't let anything die ever.
The Novas once again were really good as everything is in one position. You get max value out of it. Level 3 for the DK now as well. HawK is holding on to dear life once again. Buying time for the towers. Buying time for the tech. Buying time for the Mountain King. Is that enough? He's threatening the fiends now, but the DK and the Lich, who were so hurt earlier, already back at full health almost, with another kill right there. And Happy saving all his fiends all the time.
Hey, he hasn't lost the fiend yet. Yep. Which he was in the middle of a lot of footmen just now. It looked like HawK might be able to get us around, but then that fiend just slipped through somehow.
Another scroll of regen. This is good value, but the distraction is going on the cost of some footies. We saw Fortitude going for a counter aggression earlier. This is absolutely not possible here at all.
Look at that fiend in center. He's gonna bring Orb of Corruption and the Pit Lord. This is the Christmas package of Undead here.
Oh wow.
Players' forces are under attack.
Good value. Good bang for your buck, that's for sure. Is the MK finally here? Yes, it is. Absolutely crucial to stop this attack to do some damage.
Alright, let's see. How much does he commit? He can actually... I mean, he could have actually Rain of Fire on the towers as well, without being in range of the Arcane Tower, which is the important part of this. But yeah, Footmen, once there is Orb, they feel like they don't really do much anymore. They just die very quickly and feed experience. HawK is just trying to buy time right now. He's 80% through to Castle Tech, and then he can start getting Knights and Paladin. But at 20%, if you're the human player here, it feels like it's taking an eternity to finally get there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We're at the 10-minute mark, and so far it was HawK suffering. The towers, are they a little bit too defensive? They're rarely shooting at anything.
Yeah, it's because of Happy's positioning. If they were further forward, they would have been sniped easily. So there's always the right balance.
Yeah, true.
Like you don't want to put them too far forward, and neither do you want to put them too far back. Let's see, Castle Tech about to finish. That Paladin and Knights need to start right now for HawK. He needs to buy Orb, he needs to buy stuff. He has a lot to buy.
It is super expensive, and here comes that's a little bit of an issue that there's no Arcane Tower here. So quick reactions always with the Stormbolt, but then he can't use the Stormbolt on Fiends. Mass Repair once again, Rain of Fire. Can he break this shop? There is an Orb now, but no Staff yet, and no Potion either.
Yeah, he has one potion on the Mountain King already. He bought the stuff at the last second before the shop died, so that's very important that this happened. And yeah, Paladin about to come out. We got one Knight on the way. He needs to start another one very, very soon here. HawK is behind in supply. Happy going for the kill on those towers. Wow, Mountain King might have to get staffed in a second. Happy always so good at timing that Cornova to make sure that never happens. He's being very patient right now.
Towers down, not using those Coil Novas yet. And Mountain King gets back, but there is one coming for him. Just 10 mana away with the statues. That's not too much, but he's getting burned by the Arcane. No Coil at the moment. Of course, these peasants are suffering, but they continue to buy time. Archmage, in a world of trouble, needs a potion or a TP. Repositioned with the TP. Mountain King in trouble now. It feels like just a matter of time until one hero goes down, but the Paladin arrives in time. Wonderful TP by HawK.
Yeah, most of the heroes of Happy are out of mana. So it might be a good time to send Militia. There it is. HawK sending Militia forward. Oh, one knight is misrallied. He has one knight left in the main base. The second Rax wasn't rallied to his Archmage. You need your knight here. He's gonna fight without it.
That's not too great. Happy is stuck at 60. And the Militia have sent back. Will HawK realize this? 2 knights in the base now. HawK is engaging 4 gyros against 2 destroyers. Web is ready though, so he picks them up off the air. Mana is okay for this Mountain King. Can he finally get the first kill? Militia are getting shredded by this, and Happy just takes map number 1 without dropping a unit.
A good play by Happy. Honestly, after a slow start, the beginning was outstanding for HawK. That footy slowed down the DK so much, he could finish 3 camps without one item being stolen there, one asset being stolen. It was such a good start for HawK, and then he squandered it really badly. It was very bad movement by the AM during the first nighttime. He didn't protect his peasants nearly enough. That cost him the early game advantage they had early on, and then the Arcane positioning was very bad. The Arcane needs to be in front to burn that Pit Lord right away, but the Arcane was in the back, not doing anything. Base build at the expansion was not good. And that's 2 mistakes you can't make against Happy.
Felt kind of the same. The Architect Remo giving some advice to HawK that seems fixable, as the foundations for HawK are of course incredible. He seems to have a chance, but he needs to turn it up to 11. We're gonna be back in 3 minutes with map number 2.
Our castle wall. Fast forward to the siren in the distance, getting closer by the minute. Will you stand and answer to the call? Burn like a fire, willful and wild. This is the night that you were made for. Don't close your eyes. Safer to stare into the sun than to turn away from what you could become. This was once a perfect symphony, soft and steady like a heartbeat. But these notes turn dissonant and sour, getting violently devoured. So will you stand or let the curtain fall? Burn like a fire, willful and wild. This is the night that you were made for. Don't close your eyes. Safer
map number 2 coming up. Northern Isles it is, and Happy has yet to drop a map at DreamHack Summer. Taking the lead right here, and as we said in the beginning of this best of 5, HawK sometimes can be an emotional player. Is he deterred by that, or is there still hope for the HawK?
Well, I know I would be.
Yeah, but that's why you're casting and not playing anymore.
All right, Remo, chip in, please.
Yeah, Northern Isles can be a tough map, but we know Happy isn't going to play Cryptlord. This can very much be doable. We saw the perfect Carbon copy by Blade before. He had the perfect early game. A wonderful match by Blade until, in the late game, not having a second workshop probably cost him that game. So it is doable. You can beat Happy. You just have to play really well and make 0 mistakes.
Yeah, that sounds easy. That sounds doable. That sounds like the standard that we expect here at the DreamHack Summer Open semifinals. HawK and Happy going at each other's throat once again. And will Happy come out on top once more? Xlord just tweeted like 15 minutes ago, Happy is the greatest WarCraft 3 player ever. So lots of respect there also from the German. But we kick things off. Map number 2, Northern Isles. And here we are.
Did I just see Happy talk to himself a bunch, getting pumped up before the game?
A little bit, right?
Do you think he was singing or was he talking? He's like, you're the best. You know you're the GOAT. Nobody can stop you. Let's do it. One more tournament. $2,400. Let's do it.
I think he's just listing all the ice cream flavors that he's going to get tomorrow with the prize money here at DreamHack. Strawberry, vanilla, chocolate, nuts.
Is there 5 guys in Moscow? They got great shakes as well. All right, HawK, he just lost on his map pick. Now we're going to Happy's map pick. The map that it feels like he loses on the least out of any map. So it's going to be a difficult task. It is to get good items. Honestly, there is a lot of things that he could do better, but finding items is definitely one of them as well. Like those rings last game didn't help him at all. And yeah, I think he lost too many peasants as well to initial attack. We've seen games, even from Happy, where sometimes he rushes and he kills like, I don't know, 1 peasant, maybe 2. But HawK lost at least like 4 because he was out of position. There was a surround on the Fiend that was available. He didn't get it. You cannot let these opportunities or things have those things happen against Happy here. Any mistake, even that knight at the end of the game. Like, the only knight that he made was misrallied.
Yeah.
He was in his main base doing nothing.
Yeah, if Happy gives you half of a chance, you have to make the most out of it. That's for sure. And you are absolutely right. I mean, you talk about items a lot, and sometimes maybe for my taste a bit too much. But there's definitely a pattern here in Happy games. Whenever he loses, his opponent gets great items. And here, we're all very happy to see a clause of attack on the Archmage.
Yeah, look at the dance in the main base, by the way, with the Acolytes. He forced the tower doing this, and he also really threatened the Acolyte. In the game that they played earlier on ladder on Autumn Lives, HawK actually killed an Acolyte of Happy and forced the cancel tech.
Wow.
Oh, he gets the Crystal Ball. Oh no, this is not ideal.
No, not like I would love to spam that emote now in the WarCraft chat, that's for sure. After this game 1, finding this item is definitely hurting him here, and the peasants are going down once again.
At least he got 1 deny on one of those peasants. Happy probably won't coil with the peasants when they're this close to the gold mine, because they could actually completely dodge that death coil.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a feel-good moment, for sure. We got HawK getting reinforcements here, new militia, new footmen, and again Happy down to 60%.
Yeah, HawK needs to work on his walk account in the main base on lumber. He's usually very good at that. I feel like a common mistake here is to overmake footmen when you don't really need them. You know, having like 4 to 5 is already enough. You just need to get peasants to build up your lumber economy. Happy is kind of stuck. Actually, that one peasant trying to sneak away. He just walks in there with a decay. Doesn't even have any more roads. He's like, yeah, I'll take those peasants right here.
And he does. Frostmourne hungers There's 2 peasants. 4 peasants now. That should be fine. Archmage with the claws. How much damage can he do? Footmen are in position. Archmage is in position. And I think HawK builds it pretty much like Blade, but the bouncer wasn't really there. Okay. Dust settles at least a little bit. Happy has no level 2. That's a big deal. No aura, no regen.
Yeah, he was gonna call that last peasant, but he wasn't sure if he could enter the gold mine or not. And if he doesn't dodge the coil, it's really bad for you. So he's gonna go across the map. That's the one thing about Happy, is that he's very patient here. He really understands when he cannot do any more damage, and then he just pulls back. But yeah, Archmage will be getting level 3 here. And he got Sentry Wards, one of the better items to set up in the center. Really see those undead timings head for you so that you can get ready for the defense. The tech was slightly before 23 o'clock here on the clock. That's actually like a very nice timing for HawK. I gotta say, it's a really good start given its Northern Isle, in my opinion, for him.
Yeah, I love the Sentry Wards, especially since HawK was a little bit out of position in game 1. So with the extra vision, he can salvage this and have better information, move a little better, and prevent damage. And this is what you do until the 10-11 minute mark or something. Prevent damage as much as you can.
Yeah, you don't want to overextend. It would be very easy. I think if undead rushes tier 3, sometimes you can even attack in their base, but nowadays they're all so solid. Like, you know, there is a nice tower already. It's just not going to do much. If you lose all of your footmen or throw them away now, you're going to be in big trouble. It's also a very common mistake that I still myself make every other game, of overfighting, not really knowing when to fight here. HawK is trying to stay on Happy to make sure he doesn't creep anything big. And Happy, I think, he understands what's happening. He fully understands what the human has to do right now. So he's kind of staying on his side of the map, hoping that HawK makes the mistake to attack now and overextend. And now he will punish with a lot of footman kill.
Oh, it was close to a surround in game 1, but here can't get it either. Happy about to drop a fiend, maybe, but what a stupid sentence from me. Of course he's not. Archmage chasing after fiend, and DK Lich is in the north.
Oh, the
getting a little trouble.
He lives. Wow, that one footman.
Ooh, sick. But he turns around now. Might walk into his demise. Gets a deny here. HawK is playing pretty good, especially with the last hits.
Oh no, the footman, that's DK level 2. And he gives him for free. That could have been avoided. And you see, he shouldn't even be fighting now. He should just be running back. Just put some Sentry Wards. Start towering up all over the place at your expansion. There is an Arcane Tower coming up in the main base. Improved lumber harvesting underway as well. HawK is actually not super rich yet, but as long as he can start tier 3 very quickly and then mount tanking, I kind of like his position so far in this game.
Yeah, he keeps Happy low, that's for sure. Wonder how the table turns once the statue arrives. That was kind of the downfall for HawK in map 1. But it's interesting to see how HawK's philosophy in this matchup is very, very different from what Blade and Fortitude did earlier. Not engaging too much, be very, very careful, just threaten things a little bit, then pull back, buy time, poke a little bit, pull back. HawK is just full on engaging a lot in these games.
Great demining of the Sentry Ward here. He's going to force the second Sentry Ward from Happy to be used, but because he has Crystal Ball, he could just go there again eventually, use that, and remove the Sentry Ward from Happy in this, from the center. And yeah, Happy, as always, he's always mixing in the right amount of attacking to creeping, so he's doing the center now, but then he will head to that expansion and start pushing a little more.
Scourge Bone Chimes, 1 for the shop. Might get a potion for that. Lich level 2 will help tremendously, and HawK is going for a counterattack. Happy sees it. Hoo-hoo! Daytime, sees the footies here. Actually has another Nova, so yeah, these footmen won't do too much, but there is a little poking now going on with Archmage, with Water Elemental. At least you don't have Happy in your face right away.
I think he's trying to play similarly maybe to what we saw from Fortitude earlier against Mikael, where there was a big counterattack that did a lot, because he probably considers he already has enough towers. But the tier 3 of HawK started really late, almost when the mount tanking was already out. So that means that for entire production period of the mount tanking, he wasn't teching. And that's because he made towers like very early, and he also made the second advanced lumber harvesting upgrade before he started tier 3. So perhaps wrong prioritization, but now we got the first workshop on the way.
A player's forces are under attack.
Can he still stall enough time? Happy has 1-0. Happy has 2 circles on this Lich. Archmage has no staff and he's a little out of position here. Looks like the MK and the Footman are getting creepjacked. by Lich and Fiends, but at least he's getting the big Ogre Magi and the
And Happy
item.
starts a temple.
Oh, that's early.
The Lich. That Lich should never die. Red or Invuln. We'll make sure of that. Frost Armor. It's always so mistelling when you play against this kind of army, because you're always like, oh, the Lich dies quickly, right? Low hit points. Well,
Yeah.
Frost Armor, if you have mostly melee units, is pretty amazing.
Also very fast, thanks to Unholy Aura, also statue regen, and of course there's coils in the very, very late game. There's anti-magic shells, so yeah, this Lich not too easy to kill. I mean, we saw this game on Amazonia between Happy and Foggy, where Foggy was throwing 12,000 damage on a Lich and yet still didn't kill him. Still surreal to see and say. HawK, he said he has problems with Banshees, so what's the perfect solution? Killing the Temple of the Damned.
That's actually a pretty sick timing. And for him to find this as well, because now the entire game plan for Happy is revealed, which is he knows that HawK was going to go double Rax Knights, which is what everybody's doing these days. So he was just going to go into a lot of Banshees here to try and fully counter that already. Question is, Banshees, it's almost unavoidable. They're going to get there eventually. What does he get to try and counter that? Do we see him go into Sanctum and Breakers, or does he still stay on Knights and try to rely entirely on Mortars to try and counter Banshees? HawK is very rich right now, but he's about to spend a lot of that gold as he reaches Castle Tech.
The tier 3 is coming. You're right that it's very hard to counter and HawK has to make a decision, but by getting this one temple alone, these upgrades for the Banshees take a long time, especially the master upgrades. So only having one temple, it's either later upgrades or a reduced number of Banshees. So this will help HawK down the road quite a bit. Happy is, by the way, once
Neo.
again. Yeah.
He's going tanks.
A player's forces are under attack.
What? Okay. I mean,
I was looking at the upgrades from the blacksmith, and I'm like, wait a second, he's getting upgrades of attack for flying machines and tanks, and then armor. This doesn't make any sense. And I look at the workshops, 2 tanks. It might be 2 tanks to try and drop the gold mine of Happy to do damage to it and make him lose resources. But usually if you do that, you'd want to open up with the +2 attack upgrade, because then you have a real chance of killing that gold mine with just 2 tanks.
Okay, I like it. It's so out of the norm that Happy might not expect this move. This weekend alone, I've seen tanks in Human Mirror, so it can't surprise me too much anymore. They might get intercepted here in the middle. If he can do tremendous damage to one of the Temples of the Damned, this is an immense amount of time bought. But man,
He
Happy
chooses
is
another
just
tank,
ready.
by the way. It's not just the 2.
Happy is so freaking good that he sees these tanks early.
Actually, Happy supply blocked. He forgot a Zig. He's getting 2 Ziggurats at once. This is very rare for Happy to have that happen. He's catching the army now. We found a Klaus +12. Pala probably gonna have to be staffed. Maybe he should just town portal, because if he staffs the Pala, Mount Tanking will be next.
Okay, time
Actually, a Knight.
Oh, close. But did he survive or did he die in the town portal? Not sure. I think he died eventually, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
it looks like it.
Can these tanks do damage? 1-1 upgrade. Happy continues to creep, wants the 5-5. Interesting to see that he doesn't have a third hero. The arrival of the tanks forced at least a town portal.
Yeah, Happy really respecting the power of the tanks here, potentially doing damage. Remember that when you kill tanks, you get 85 experience as opposed to 60 once upon a time. That change was almost reverted in the last PTR, but then didn't go through with it. That's one of the reasons why we don't see them very often. They give a lot of experience.
Todd, if you look into HawK's base, he's pooling... Knights. I was about to... Is there a reason he's pooling the Knights, or is it again the rally point set wrong? Now they're moving out. Okay, so we get something.
Yeah.
3 Knights into
When
the
Knights-
undead base.
When Knights run in close to the undead army, they get Novad and they die. And it happens also so much. So you really need to be careful. But yeah, Happy was out of position here against this push. The
has no
Altar could
TP.
go down very easily if HawK wants it here.
He has no TP. He really must hate Banshees. He's just right-clicking on this temple. Archmage in trouble. TP comes in. I don't think he has enough damage to do any more here. Oh man, this would have cancelled the master upgrade. This would have been such a big deal. But no. HawK going for the third base bottom right. Happy with another TP. Rebuying the TP is of course resources that can't go into army.
This is huge. He actually bought a ton of time. HawK's on 69 supply, and as much as Banshee Master training just completed, I can't even see a single Banshee in this army. So he's made all the research for nothing so far. And he goes in. Oh my god, he's gonna steal the Magnetor. Happy trying to move in position. He guessed that this was gonna happen. Can he stop it? I don't think so. HawK is gonna get it. That's Pala level 2.
Ooh, my Holy Light comes in as well. Item on the ground. What's it gonna be? Archmage just dead like this for a Helm of Valor and a little bit of XP. And that was the town portal on the first hero. The Fiend with the block. You can't make this mistake against Happy. Double kill for the Emperor. And HawK is in shambles. This game was so good for so long until it wasn't.
Yeah, HawK should have town portaled. Happy also guessed that the bottom right expansion was going to be taken. He dispatched the Destroyer to check it out. He saw the item on HawK, and that's good enough for him. He's such a good player that he's like, okay, well, you've clearly done the bottom right-hand side camp. What would be bad for me? If you take that expansion, he sends his only Destroyer there, sees that base, and he knows that HawK doesn't have flying machines. HawK's just going to tap out.
Oh, boy. Oh, so sad.
This is just heartbreaking, man. He plays so well for such large parts of the game, but then these huge mistakes, these unforgivable mistakes, you can't make them. And it was so weird as well. The AM came in, so he knew the AM was sort of in danger. He Holy Lights him, but then he doesn't respect the Coil Nova enough. I mean, you pointed out, Todd, earlier that Happy always knows exactly the threshold to go for, but you gotta play that safe. You gotta TP out. He had the item already. He had a third base on the way. And with that third base, it would have been so hard for Happy to shut down 2 bases, and it could have been tanks coming in over and over. This had to be HawK's game, but he keeps throwing away his chance.
Yeah, I think when the Destro went to the third base, he could have queued like 4 flying machines and then send them down there to defend and maybe send 1 knight for the goal on the ground. The fact that there was no Banshee out, I really think this could have been a pretty bad position for Happy, but he's so brilliant. Like, from very little information, he transformed that into a great one. He always checks inventory. Even after he killed the Archmage, he checked the inventories on the Mountain King. He's like, oh, you have the stuff. I guess I gotta kill you first. Clicks on the Mountain King, gets him out of there. Pala's next. Just very, very clean and smart throughout.
Man, is there a chance? Last time, it was a 2-0 lead for HawK, and then it was 3 wins for Happy in a row. Can we reverse that? Will Happy finally lose a map, maybe? We go into a little bit of a break, and then map 3.
Once upon a time, we had it all, sitting safe behind our castle wall. Fast forward to the siren in the distance, getting closer by the minute. Will you stand and answer to the call? Run like a fire, willful and wild. This is the night that you were made for. Don't close your eyes, safer to stare into the sun. This is the night you were made for. Burn like a fire. This is the night that you were made for. Don't close your eyes. Safer to stare into the sun than to turn away from what you could be. The time has come to stand and fight. Deconstruct, reignite. Safer to stare into the sun than to turn away from what you could be.
Back at DreamHack with 3 match points for Happy. Pretty crazy games once again. HawK is getting better when it comes to the early game, and the tanks were a nice surprise. But was that a triggered GG at the end already, or was that justified, guys?
I mean, it wasn't necessarily completely over. Maybe he is a little upset. He could have started reviving the MK and Tavern rebought the AM, but he definitely would have lost the third base, right? Happy was running there. I don't know. Was there just something possible there? What do you think, Todd?
Yeah, it's really bad. Like, you lost your heroes like this, it feels like against somebody like Happy, there's no recovery possible. The base in bottom right, he was looking very grim for that one, so I can't fault him. Maybe he could have stayed at least 1 minute or two longer to see if it actually works, or if something can actually work out. Oh yeah, it's not like the earliest GG, you know, it's not like he left and he had like 80 supply and he had just lost 1 hero. No, he had lost pretty much every one of his heroes, most of his units, and that third base was not going to work out. And then Happy, off the back of this, can easily expand.
We have a little bit of a rehost here. Ended up on the wrong server, as this happens from time to time. Okay. We're gonna get there eventually. Foggy is already in the Final Four tomorrow. Happy is very, very, very close to getting there. Next map is Tidehunters. It's another pick for HawK.
Yeah. One of the new maps here, not that explored yet. Kinda easy to expand on. 120 earlier said that he thought Human was good against Undead because on the new maps, because it was easy for Human to expand, so let's see.
Okay, since we have a little bit of a break here, we want to let you guys know that, of course, not only do we have this summer DreamHack Open coming up, but also the fall. And if you want to participate in that, then your chance is starting on July 10 and 11. 2 open qualifiers for 8 slots right there in Europe, starting at 4 p.m. CEST. We will of course be there casting this for you guys. Doesn't really matter where you're from. Asia, Europe and the Americas, all region represented. And I would love to see you guys there. Make the numbers big, sign up. Even if you think you don't have a chance, it's fun. You might meet with the best gamers in the region. I would love to see, for example, a Terra again trying his luck. Would be a sweet addition.
Oh, I feel bad for HawK after this. It's so hard to stay in it. Of course, you're going to think about the mistakes, but you're also going to think if instead of getting a crystal ball on the expansion, imagine if he gets a claws +9. Like, his chances of winning just skyrocket through the roof already.
I still wouldn't help against Coil Nova while you have a TP. That was, of course, the little bit of a blunder there. But yeah, Crystal was kind of used well, so we've seen games where HawK is just selling it immediately. That is not the case here. He's scanning with it quite a bit and got a little bit of information there. He needs a lot of information, needs a lot of scouting, and he needs also a lot of luck. Here on the map we got a marketplace as well as it is on Northern Isles, so maybe if you're not that lucky you can make up for it by buying some. But yeah, it is a tough position for this guy right here for HawK. 2-0 down against the undefeated Emperor, who is yet to drop a map. Maybe here on Tidehunters. we are. Last chance for HawK. He's against the rope. He's fighting for dear life during this DreamHack summer.
And it's so hard right now mentally for HawK. You know, I've been there. You're facing somebody who has 94% or 96% win rates, I think it was, against you in tournaments over a lot of series. And you can get some stuff going in the games, but then ultimately you just end up losing no matter what. You're down 0-2. You have to win 3 maps in a row against Mr. Unbeatable in the circuits. It's so hard to just tell yourself, all right, you know what? Let's forget about that. Let's play 100% no matter what happens. I don't want to have regret. I don't want to play bad. It's just incredibly hard. You know, we always hear about how HawK is emotional, how maybe he's just tilting when he's playing as happy, but the thing is, it's incredibly hard to still stay strong mentally after 2 games like this. So I hope he can do it, and I hope he can still deliver a good performance.
Yeah, we are in the easiest of all positions there for HawK. I mean, this goes on for years. It's not like 3 tournaments or something. This is literally 4 years by now, and it's extremely draining. He still puts on great fights and he comes up with new ideas, just like these tanks. This was probably something that surprised even Happy, a thing that very rarely even happens.
He just doesn't make many mistakes. That's the thing. You know, there's nothing you can think of. There's like HawK is playing what is the current best strategy with the expansion. I'm not sure about those tanks in particular. Actually a little bit doubtful about them, that this was the best, but I still think he managed to put himself in a very decent position up until the point he lost his heroes the way he did. But yeah, he's playing the current best strategy on paper, the way he's expanding, the way he's going to knights and stuff. It's just that Happy's execution is as close to flawless as it gets. This guy just doesn't make mistakes, and he just waits for you to make one, and you will make one eventually because you're always going to make more than him.
Yeah. It's a tyranny, that's for sure. HawK now starting this expansion. He was once again causing a little trouble in the base, drawing some attention off of Happy to move the Acolyte around. No kill here, but you know, maybe a little bit of a delay already. Footman comes in to threaten something. Happy with a ring and a circlet. Not too great, not too bad. HawK knows exactly what's going on and is finishing the camp at pretty much the same time.
Yeah, the thing about expanding this early on this map is that you're not going to be super high on experience. But against DK, it might be not that bad. Let's see what the Death Knight does. He buys the claw himself. Happy is a bit of a shopaholic with those marketplaces.
Yeah, man, he loves the claws. Every time there's a claw available, it's a good bang for your buck, that's for sure. HawK in position to defend. Decent chip damage, coils the skeleton. Because the duration was still on for so long, so all that damage is pretty much for nothing. 2 peasants in jeopardy, 1 is down.
Yeah, pay attention to the skeleton and Death Knight movements, even the fiends. Like, he sent 2 skeletons at the top to zone out one of the peasants on the left-hand side. He killed the one on the right-hand side at the same time. Now he clicks on the peasant that's the most in the center and the most exposed. He's gonna get a cancel on the tower. The Acolyte is still in there, headbutting peasants the whole time. And now when finally it looks like he cannot kill anything anymore, boom, he ejects. He just gets out. Just flawless.
This is very reminiscent of the game against Blade, the third one, when Blade was 2-0 down and was losing all hope, I guess. It is a rough start. And yeah, the movement there, you pointed it out, it is incredible. He's basically forcing the peasants to walk around the town hall, and then the first fiend arrives, and the fiend is at the perfect position to have the necessary range, to get the necessary damage in, to kill that peasant. It is just incredible.
Yeah, HawK did something really well here where he zoned out the DK and the Fiend with just a few units while he was creeping the Murloc camp on the right-hand side at the same time. He bought another claw.
Yeah.
So he's keeping the ring for his Mountain King seconds, which will help eventually when it gets there. And getting that additional claw is such a big deal as well. You might be like, yeah, he's just +5. No, it's not just +5. It's very important damage that he needs against an undead player that will be harassing him pretty much the whole game.
Yeah, we need an assistant who counts all the Archmage attacks and then shows us how much damage this really is.
Oh, the Fiend!
Not just yet. Archmage is in position once again. Another Fiend pretty hurt. Needs a coil soon. That is, of course, again, a coil that will not end up on a peasant. And it's only a level 1. So the Fiend is out as well. All he has to deal with is the skeletons. He cleans this up nicely with the Arcane Tower up now.
Oh, he denied the skeleton with the tower. That would have been level 3. See, this is a mistake that Happy never makes, basically. But HawK, like I even think there was maybe even a possibility for a surround here if he did a little better movement. And also, when the tower finished, he could have been clicking on the DK already. So it's almost like, you know, 2 of them are actual mistakes that he made here in that small engagement. And that can make a difference because these add up overall over time.
And they kind of do. Nova already, first footman down. And imagine this contest now with level 2 water elementals. Would be way better, would be more damage. And the Lich is there when he has to be there and he gets the kill.
So here's the way it goes usually after Happy is up 2-0. In the last game, he gets a bunch of units, he pushes the Expo, and then he just wins. Almost instantly. This is what we've seen so many times. HawK here needs to not give up. He needs to stay strong, just do his best. Run around those fiends, don't fully engage, be patient.
Big mana potion. Yeah, that was clearly missing in this series so far. He also bought a Gloves of Haste to just get more damage onto that Lich. He will do a lot of damage as well, especially with the Orb then later. So why not get these Gloves of Haste when you can afford it? Finally level 3 for HawK.
It's a deny. Wow. I don't know why this DK was like not hitting for 10 seconds. But... And HawK... Okay, this is actually not a good sign. He's spamming way too many towers, I think. Look at his lumber and look at how many towers he's trying to make at his Expo.
Oh, that's a lot
How
of
is
towers.
he ever gonna try? How is he ever gonna take tier 3 and get MK as well?
You know, I try to help you out as much as I can, but I have no idea.
Me neither.
Yeah, I mean, the lumber upgrades...
The answer is he can't.
The lumber upgrades for the human are kind of nice. Lumber mill always a little earlier than before. Upgrade always a little earlier than before. But I don't think that will fix it. Maybe buy more items from the marketplace to even out your resources. That doesn't help with attack, but gives you something else instead.
Town is under siege.
Let's see. Happy looking to get level 3 on the Death Knight here. He's reacted very quickly again. Like he saw one water elemental headed for his main, and he saw that the human headed on the right hand side. That's enough for him to know that there is a chance the human's gonna hit his base. So what did he do? He already sent the Lich back to start dealing with this. As long as he doesn't lose any Acolyte here, it's gonna be fine. Even if he loses like 1 or 2, he can just remake them as he's about to get tier 3. It almost helps him to be back in his base at this stage because tier 3 is about to finish. And he's gonna buy Orb immediately. And all of those footmen are gonna die if that happens.
Yeah.
So HawK evacuates.
And I guess it's fine for now. Coil Nova. Uh-oh. That's a TP. 25. Okay. TP lost as well as a little bit of HP. Nothing really gained except time where Happy is not creeping.
Oh, Castle Tech, please. He's forgetting it again. No.
Oh.
Every second that he spends not going Castle is like a disaster. Absolute disaster.
He does have the gold. Now again. There we go.
Yeah, that was an eternity. Look at his Mountain King. He started the Mountain King when he reached tier 2, so it means that for the entire duration that his Mountain King was producing, Castle hadn't been started. It just feels like he's doing some things well, but overall this is really not HawK's series. I've seen him play better than this.
Can he do something here? Happy taking the cheese of HawK's bread, drinking his milkshake here, stealing the laboratory creep away. Flute. Ho 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 ho. HawK has very, very limited resources to get something done. He's storming into the base again. That's just threatening a TP, and that's it.
It seems like he's trying to play an entirely different style here, almost like an old-school mass towers, where it's going to be very hard for Happy to siege this. Happy scouts the main base. I wonder if Happy might adapt to this. He sees 3 towers in the main. They're kind of forward, to be honest, so it might still be okay to kill. There is a chance Happy just goes into full creeping mode and then expands. If the human overmakes towers, why would you attack into the towers? You don't have to. You can just expand and be like, okay, what are your towers going to do for you? They just slow down your tech. And yes, you're going to live in your base, but out on the map, it's me running the show. It's me creeping all the big camp and expanding and doing whatever I want.
This Lich is so crazy. Again, you're absolutely right. He just keeps finding damage items. It's so nuts. No coil this time though. Does HawK want to distract with tanks again is the question. I don't think so necessarily, as there is a Sanctum coming up now as well. Happy clearly willing to brawl at this little creep check because HawK has absolutely nothing on the battlefield.
Yeah, I'm on the map right now. HawK, the way he's played, he has no chance. He's going for a Sanctum. So it almost feels like the main style that Human was playing for a while, where you go Knight, Breaker, Flying Machine.
Player's forces
But
are
he
under
just
attack.
overmade towers. I think he was just tired of getting pushed all the time and taking damage and then dying. He overreacted with the towers. Maybe because he lost a good amount of peasants as well early on.
Happy is once again finding this temple. So Master Banshee's delayed once again. He's getting something done. I like that he's this annoying mosquito flying around Happy's head and is constantly poking. This is not comfortable at all, but losing the Mountain King is also absolutely not comfortable.
Yeah, if HawK's a mosquito, then Happy's he's about to go Homelander style on him and laser him out of there.
Yeah,
Player's
yeah.
forces are under
Pally
attack.
coming, MK queued, Breakers coming as well as Gyros. Shows the Gyros already as the Destroyers in the air too. Happy, like, he would love to soak up this entire map, get high level heroes, and it's just fine.
Yeah, he's getting web at the right time here after spotting Flame Machines. And he keeps on squeezing an extra camp every time. And every time that HawK attacks like this, he's feeding experience. This DK is almost 5 already. This is so fast. Lich just keeps on creeping. And plus 3 attacks being about to finish here is just so huge for Happy because he can stay on 50 for a while. And his army is already going to be super powerful thanks to this. But HawK, the goal might just be to get to 80 supply here, which he might be able to do. But these heroes are going to be severely under-leveled.
Yeah. He has to get 4-3-2 with mostly fighting. Oh my god, Pendant of Energy. These items are so crazy. But of course, like, Happy is also getting... How many creep spots now? It's 8, 9, 10? All
Yeah,
of them.
the whole map, pretty much, I think.
Yeah, from HawK's lab to HawK's turtles to HawK's nulls, he's taking everything.
For you to get to 80 supply, you have to make this many towers, but then Happy has heroes 5-5. It
Yep.
just nukes you to death.
He's
Okay,
not,
web's
even,
already there.
he's not even going third hero anymore. Like, there's no Dark Ranger. He's not afraid of Stormbolt Holy Light, apparently. He just wants high-level Coil Nova and boom.
The second temple is on the way. And the thing about Happy is that, yes, he's on one base, but he creeps so much and he gets so much gold from it that it doesn't matter nearly as much.
Yeah.
Frost Armor and Illusion, okay. Sure.
Little Dispel on the Water Elemental, so no, HawK, you are not getting this red spot. HawK at 63. A little bit of a supply lead, but yeah, he needs to trade now efficiently to get this experience. Oh, Stormbolt on an illusion, did I see that right?
It's a terrible timing for HawK to be fighting at. He barely has any units from his tier 3. Look, he has 1 breaker, 2 breakers now, no knights. The police is coming in, but I mean, it's Happy you're playing. Of course he's gonna fall back. He's not gonna overextend. There is actually no Temple on the DK. He's so confident that there is no way he can lose a fight.
Yeah.
There is no invuln, no Temple on the DK. The invuln's on the Lich still.
And all this police, if the Lich would have connected, man. Whoo, sweet experience. But okay, maybe that's the only way to force Happy back. But if Happy is forced back, then he just takes another camp. This experience gain must be insane. It absolutely is. It's like 2,000 experience by now.
Yeah, HawK needs to creep whatever he can right now. He needs to do the expansion of Happy and then even bomb rush the red in the top right. I don't care if you even lose units on this. Like, you need that experience and you cannot let it go to Happy.
Yeah.
Imagine he gets a really good item as well. That could definitely help out Happy finally with the expansion. And there's not really much option for HawK to do anything about it. I was thinking earlier, maybe he should drop 2 tanks on the gold mine in the main because he was getting the upgrades for that. But Happy had a Fiend on patrol there for the longest time. He left it there, and then when finally he realized there was no tanks at all, then he finally sent that back to be with his army.
Yeah, that happened to him 1 or 2 times too often. I was about to say, like, Happy, are you double expanding right now? That would be something.
Player's forces
But yeah, HawK is getting that red spot, but in the meantime, like, Happy's getting 3 camps.
He needs to get like Legion or one of the Orc Auras. I think that would be probably the best
In before
thing
Helm
that
of
he can
Valor.
get. Medallion Courage is also alright on the Mount tanking. He's still gonna go bash. It's encouraging when you find this to go clap.
Yeah, I still feel Clap is pretty good against anti-magic. Kinda gets rid of the anti-magic if you use it in the right spot and have a little bit of a follow-up.
I think HawK didn't see the Banshees yet because he's not going Mortars. If he sees this, he for sure will add a bunch of... Unless he wants to try and target them when they're using Possession, because he actually has Pale Breakers.
There's no Flying Machine bombs, 2-2 upgrades on them, 1-2 on the breakers. And now he sees the lab, it's like, oh, really? Happy, really? Yep, yep, HawK, yep.
Happy went to HawK's house, grabbed the milk from the fridge, he drank it, he didn't close it back up, and he left it on the kitchen counter. That's the level of disrespect here with creeping that lab of HawK.
With a post-it on, I was here. 80 supply HawK.
I left you a few sip, you loser.
Archmage has good damage. Mountain King has good mana and a little bit of sustain. And Happy has level 4 Health Stone, Mana Stone, Illusions, double Pendant of Energy. The Lich has plus 22. Fiends are what? 3-0?
HawK is breaking upkeep.
I guess
He
that's
actually
what
has an
to do.
insane army now. 83 supply in total. And look at his upgrades. He's about to have plus 3 armor for the Knights. He already has plus 2 attack for Flying Machine and Mortars. What's the right amount of Mortars though? Against this many Banshees, if you want to kill them at once, usually you need at least 3. But what's Happy going to target? Of course he's going to coin over the Mortars on paper. So you might need to get like 4 to 5 Mortars to make sure you can kill the Banshees very quickly. Possession is what you fear the most. You don't really counter AMS here with anything because you don't have Clap or Blizzard, so he's not going to try to outdamage this. Oh my god, he's sending the peasants out. No plan to take a third base for HawK. It's just going to be make or break this third base of Happy.
Okay, HawK. All in. All eggs in one basket. This needs to be big. This needs to hit hard. There is a slight supply lead. The hero levels, of course, clearly in favor of Happy, but there's also no Dark Ranger, no Silence. The Banshees have to do an incredible job. I think they're spreading curls a little bit. Anti-magic everywhere, but the Mortals are doing a fine job so far, blowing up 2 of these Banshees immediately, and they are safe and in a good position.
Yeah, the Illusion was doing work at the front. Happy is trying to get in a position here where a lot of the units of HawK are blocking one another, where the Illusions are tanking a lot, but he's still struggling. No Possession went through. The target on the Banshees was really, really nice. He probably cancelled one of those Possession as well. If he had let that happen, that would be so bad for HawK, but he did such a good job so far. Of course, he's got some staff to work with as well. Staffs one more. One more Banshee will fall. Is HawK doing this?
Unbelievable. This is kind of crazy. Mortar teams are coming in. Are there enough gyros? Otherwise, at one point, the destroyers might take over. Mana still looking good. Did he go through consumables? Not really. This seems like unlimited coils, and Happy is soon to be in his home base. Fiends are falling. Mana's getting low for a couple of these Banshees. HawK, if it's not now, then never.
And he has Peasants on the expansion of Happy, but nothing really harassing there. Mountain King being targeted is already really low. Needs to be careful. Paladin's pulling back. Okay, he needs to remake Flying Machines here to deal with those destroyers, but there's so many Fiends, and Happy's so good at kiting, webbing, re-engaging.
Mountain King again, nuke the Paladin. Wasn't the Divine Shield. Needs to be staffed out soon. Not really. Happy was down to 74 for a second. Of course, he has double income now as well. This Mountain King shall not fall. Nuke, but immediately the whole HawK now on point.
Yeah, he might have to get back soon here. Paladin completely out of mana. I think Town Following now wouldn't be too bad for HawK. He's dealt a lot of damage. The Mountain King goes down! Before he can get out, all staffs were down on both the Paladin and the Archmage. Happy immediately picked up on the fact that the Mountain King was exposed and punishes for this.
Ooh, so heartbreaking again. He did so well. He almost found a solution. The focus fire in the fight was so good. And then he's falling asleep at the last wheel. But
I think he just down-followed too late.
He couldn't do anything more.
Yeah, when he used the last Holy Light, I think that's when he should have TP'd maybe. But now Pala is almost level 3 and so is the Mountain King. Maybe there is yet hope. Death Knight is almost level 6, by the way. 5.7. Are we going to see a crab again?
Is Happy such a player? We'll see about that. It's definitely on 2 bases. Has the TP again. Banshee numbers drastically reduced during that fight. Happy, of course, always buying them back instantly, so they have time to gather mana. Main bases, 1,100, 1,400. Expo could be an issue for HawK, 8,000 versus 2,000.
Yeah, those heroes of Happy still have full inventories, by the way. He hasn't used anything. Still has Greater Mana, Hellstone, and also the big invuln on the Lich. Happy might just be the one to expand first here. Yeah, there it is. He takes the 3rd base on the right-hand side. And HawK, because he took his expansion much earlier as well, he has only 2,000 left in the Expo. Happy has 7,600 on his Expo, so that's a lot more gold available to him.
Okay. So HawK, what's left in the tank? Mine everything out and then go for another push. 700 in the main. No big bank, and Happy is going for another attack. HawK needs to shut this down at one point.
You know,
Otherwise,
all of the peasants that HawK lost in the last fight, that almost did him a favor, because I think he had too many of them compared to Happy.
yeah.
Like, the army supply was massively favoring Happy. And now until a second ago, it was almost even, but now Happy broke upkeep. He goes into 88 supply. So he's anticipating an attack from HawK, and actually he's right. HawK's moving out. This might play right into Happy's favor if HawK goes for the attack.
HawK a little bit sleepy there. Could have attacked that destroyer a lot earlier. Maybe even kill it then.
Archmage is not even 4. Like, these levels are absurd. It's 3-2-2 against 5-5.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, he needs one of the best fights of his life. Mortar shots everywhere, but I don't think he stands a chance. All possessions, quickly adjusting the mortar shots and getting rid of these Banshees. He can't win against the Gyros, I think. Level 3 Paladin, finally.
The benches are getting melted very nicely. Archmage taking damage. He doesn't have a town portal. He has to use the next Holy Light on the Archmage here, otherwise that's gonna die. There it is. Banshees, most of them fell. There was only one single possession used here.
Alright, there's one Happy Knight. Level 4 Archmage, finally. Can he break through this? There's still 2 destroyers and they're taking care of these Gyros. Level 6 on the DK. This should... Oh, Ray's dead! And this is way better than the one of 1-2-0. How do you deal with unbeatable Knights and Fiends and everything? Lich in trouble, but there's a coil. There's still invul potions. A-bombs in the mix as well, spreading the disease on the mortars. He has had enough now. Oh, Mountain King! Invul potion, super last second. Everything is about to fall for HawK.
Mountain King, stuff. In 2 seconds on the Archmage. Happy, is this gonna go through? He gets it! Mountain King gets out, but HawK is on 42 supply against 76.
And
Happy with a clean fight win here.
Oh, the main base is almost is empty for both of them, and this is Happy on 2 bases because he was the one expanding on the bottom right-hand side. He's checking the bottom left with a Knight now, as if he wants to laugh in his face. And he's still at 80 food. Crazy. Animate that being useful for once. Did I live to see the day?
Yeah, HawK here, I mean, he can't do much else than mine out his Expo and then try and get as much units as he can. Oh, the Knight's gonna be caught in the main base. And HawK, this has been a sad series for him. Death and DK on the main base. I guess he can Stormbolt in a second, but if he looks at this army, it looks really tough for him to be able to even have a chance here right now.
Still casting this. Okay, here's the big invul potion on the Lich, nuking the Mountain King right now. Wonder how long he will last. There's still the Health Stone if he wants to go for it. Fiends move to the south. Divine Shield as well on the Paladin, and he can't save that Dwarf anymore. Happy is in the grand final without dropping a single map as the Archmage explodes into ice shards. The Emperor reigns with an iron fist.